Well, hey there, peeps. This is just a quick video just to talk about what you could sow in August. Now, it was too hot to do this in the polytunnel. It's a bit windy outside now, so whether we're going to have any seeds left on the table at the end of the video, I don't know, but let's just go for it anyway. So what I want to talk about really is that once we get into August, there is a lot of stuff we can sow. I mean, look at all these seeds on the bench, but time really is of the essence because every day is getting shorter and cooler. For everything here, I'm going to be sowing in modular trays. So this one is a Charles Dowding tray, and this one, that's a Hugh Richards, which has a slightly bigger cell. And both of them are made from this heavy duty plastic, which is basically going to last a lifetime. So I'm using those again and again. And what I would always recommend at this time of the year is sow twice as much as you need, because if you do have any casualties, then you won't be able to catch up because you don't have enough time left. And then I'm either use a seed compost or use a multi-purpose compost. This is the multi-purpose. This is an organic Classman product that we use on the site, and I have great success with it. So I think I'd always recommend that. So down to the varieties then. So we kind of mentioned this at the end of July anyway, but there are loads of things, or quite a few things, that really this is the best time to sow. And that would include your Asian salads. So that would be things like Mizuna or rocket. For the kind of peppery flavors, we have mustard leaf. This is mustard red frills. And then the kind of crunchier, juicier Asian vegetables like pak choi. Now, they all bolt in the summertime, so this time of year is perfect for them because you're going to get a much better cropping season. And then also, especially for the winter salads, like your rocket and all that, they're very cold tolerant, so they will survive the winter also. So they are really good options there. Oops, we're losing things already. You can also sow, of course, your lettuce. I did say this in July as well, but almost any variety of lettuce you can sow. And you have more options in the polytunnel. If you're growing outside, then I would choose a winter lettuce variety. Again, in the polytunnel or indoors, your coriander, your flat leaf parsley, all that sort of stuff you can still sow, and that will stand nicely there in the autumn and the winter. Towards the end of August, or sorry, maybe just past mid-month, you can sow your spring cabbages. So they're your pointed cabbages that are going to crop in April the next year. They overwinter, but you need to get those in now. Both outside or in the polytunnel, you can get a quick crop of turnips. They're a fast-growing vegetable, and especially if you choose a variety like Tokyo Cross here, which I'd highly recommend. Once we're in a polytunnel or greenhouse, then we do still have time to sow some more substantial crops like kohlrabi. You're definitely going to get away with. You could also sow your kales. So there's 3 or 4 varieties of kale that we have on the website. That's Cavallo Nero, Italian one, and that's our classic curly winter boar. But you will get a good crop of those in the polytunnel. What else then? Spring onions. So that's a little bit more of an unusual one. Rouge, it's a red spring onion. And then this is Ishikura bunching. So technically it's a bunching onion rather than a spring onion, but it's going to give you larger, more crunchy spring onions. So again, a good one for the autumn. What else? Don't forget your fast growing things like radish. So that's French breakfast, but you'll also be able to squeeze out a crop of cherry bell. There's plenty of those there. Also your winter radishes. Now these are more unusual, maybe not so many people are used to growing them. This one is watermelon, and it has a white exterior and then a beautiful pink interior, and they're quite a large radish. You'd kind of use those like a turnip, I suppose, in stews. Also very nice just with a little bit of salt and butter, thinly sliced. So a bit of a winter treat. Florence fennel we mentioned in July. You could just about do that in the beginning of August in the polytunnel. And then outside then, and these aren't crops as such, but these are green manures. So if you have beds in your vegetable garden where you've harvested your crops and you don't have time to put anything else in, you are much better keeping that ground covered by a crop over the winter, because the action going on in the soil with the roots is going to keep your soil life alive. So I would recommend that. So around this time of the year we have winter tares, which is a vetch. We have clover, which is going to add loads of nitrogen to the soil, so that's really great. And then this is green manure Phacelia, and that has a beautiful lilac flower, absolutely fantastic pollinator plant. So I would advise getting those beds covered in August then as well. So that's really about it. As you can see, a lot of people think that maybe there's not a lot you can sow, but there's loads you can do. So I hope that was helpful. If you need any more information, do go to our websites. We're always contactable on the phone, by email. You can get us through our YouTube channel. We're always delighted to answer your questions. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.